This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Hi, I'm Niamh Kavanagh.
And I'm Gearoid Farrelly.
And you're listening to Agony Rants.
Welcome, listener, to the show where a Eurovision winner and a comedian change your life, basically. Start by changing your Monday, end by changing your life.
I know.
Sage advice.
Advice, rosemary and thyme. Sorry.
How are you, Niamh?
Well, I'm grand. I've had a bit of a cough and, and what happens is...
Yeah, you're bringing up a lung there.
I know, it was a little bit, nasty sounding, and it's not often that I have it, although my mother always says I've my father's cough, which is never a good thing when she says that, right? But I do have quite a deep cough, but I think it's...
chesty cough.
You know yourself, you use your lungs a lot, and you have more to be throwing out.
Exactly.
Anyway, so, yeah, that's lovely. I can't believe I said that. Anyway, so I have had a cough, and luckily I was off this weekend, which is very rare, but I was actually off. So I felt like I was kind of free to do whatever I needed to do, which is just as well because people would have been getting more of me than they wanted on the gig, really, to be fair. But obviously what that means is then I have more time on my phone, which is what I did.
You've been scrolling.
I was kind of doing a bit of dooms.
Well, you got the train down today.
I did get the train down today. It was lovely. It was lovely today because I decided I'd just come down, and I had to be up at stupid o'clock this morning to get here for like the 10 o'clock start. So,
do you not find the train very depressing?
No, not me.
I find trains
Why?
and planes, I always just get really...
It's like being on a bus.
Depressed. I'm actually fine on a bus. I don't know why. I think it's because...
Why?
Because I think on a bus that you look out the window and you see life. Like there's just like... like you see there's shops and there's streets and there's other cars. But when there's something about a train where it's just fields.
I like it. I love a train.
It makes me very depressed.
I don't get on them often, but I love to be on a train. And, today I was kind of just very relaxed. But I was on the train at 7 o'clock this morning, and trust me, I'm going to tell you, there was not a lot going on in my brain at that time at 7 o'clock this morning, because I had to be up at 5:45 so I could look like something, because I have to wash my hair and all.
Did you sleep on the train?
No, I don't. I find it very hard to sleep in situations that... Back in the day, when I used to gig and work at night, like work during the day and gig at night, I would have slept on the bus for literally 20 minutes. I only missed my stop twice in 4 years. But basically, I could sleep the exact length of time of the bus journey and wake up. And I mean, completely sleep. People could have taken anything off me. I'm not talking about clothes. I'm talking about like they could have robbed me. They could have robbed me on that bus, right? And it would have been fine. I would have been grand. But but I was completely asleep for that time. But I can't do that anymore. Not since I had the kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is it just you're always on a state of alert?
Once I'm up, I very rarely nap during the day. I think once I start napping during the day on a regular basis, I think that's a sign.
Niamh, I could nap at the wheel of a speeding car.
Can you?
I
envy you.
I can nap
Yeah.
anywhere. I pass out on planes. I was on a plane yesterday and the woman hated me.
Oh, I can sleep on a plane, weirdly.
She absolutely hated me.
Why? Were you on top of her?
No, I was sitting on the edge and she just wanted to go to the loo, but she was trying to wake me.
Oh. Well,
but I was asleep.
Yeah, but you don't know what sort of pressure she was under.
Well, she should have started earlier. But she had to... she really had to shake me. I was passed out. But she was annoyed. And I was like, well, what do you expect?
No, well, I wouldn't be annoyed about that situation.
She was, yeah.
I just have climbed over you.
She's from New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, their setting is annoying.
Yeah, you voted in Hitler. Yeah. Shut up.
Oh my God. Well, that's the end of our American listeners anyway. So,
and the show is sponsored by Tenna.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say that if you are going on a plane...
I know, you're right. You're right.
Piss in your seat.
Oh my God, don't be doing that. I love the train. So I'm scrolling away.
Yeah.
And, a couple of things come up in my scroll. I always very concerned about what comes up on my feed regularly.
Yeah, you do take this very personally.
I do, because, when you start telling you things about Dementia Village, then you really have to take that personally. That or foot yoga. I don't know what my life is ahead.
Foot yoga?
Yeah, there's this lovely guy. I really want to subscribe now because he does this foot. He's basically giving you yoga for your feet. You know, because
What's that supposed to do?
you know the way that you have plantar fasciitis and all these things that you can get with your feet. Not a bother for you. You're not old enough yet. Bunions, all that. Apparently, you can do it with yoga. Is better than all the other stuff. I don't know.
So you do yoga with your feet,
Yeah,
and it's supposed to.
it's specifically centered on your feet, so that you strengthen up and then maybe solve some of the problems that you have.
I just think it's a very intensely depressing life.
I
It's
know.
like, what do you do? I do foot yoga on the internet.
Yeah, but I prefer the dementia village, weirdly. The dementia village came up and I was going, what is this? And then I was drawn in. And then the problem is once you watch that, your algorithm's going to send you everything to do with
Yeah.
it. So anyway, the thing is,
I like the idea of it.
it's a
though.
brilliant idea. Do you know what's brilliant about this? It's in, of course, Holland or somewhere like that.
They're very
the Netherlands. They're
forward-thinking.
very forward-thinking. Thing.
Yeah.
So instead of, you know the way when we have people have dementia here, they tend to put them and try and contain them. What they did is they created a village that
Where
is
they can just
contained.
roam free.
Yeah, and they have the carers are all in it, but they're actually dressed like other people, and they work in the shops, and you can go and shop, but there's no price. You still put through the checkout, but there's no prices. It's just like you can
just
go and
rob
live
it.
your life, but there's people watching you, but you're living your life like it's normal.
See,
And I
that's
think that's
amazing.
really amazing.
Yeah.
And I think for the well-being of anybody, and then if somebody visits, they just come like somebody visiting a
I'd
village.
love to be a carer, and just working on
I'd
a
be eating
till
all
in
the
Dementia
chocolate.
Village.
I'd be eating all the chocolate. Like
It must be for rich people, though, is it?
Well, I would say there's money involved, but if you think about the care of trying to contain someone and then the distress that causes, I think there's an element of feeling like you're living a normal life, but you're not really. You know, you're
Yeah.
being minded within it. It's just something dignified about that. I think I'd pay money for that.
Yeah, like I would feel so nervous
Mm.
of having a relative in somewhere like that because, like, what if they lose one?
No, they won't, because they're contained. It's like the whole complex is contained.
Oh, right.
You know, there's like only one way in and out.
That's
And
why I
that's
shouldn't have
monitored.
kids. I'd be too nervous.
No,
I'd chip them.
you'd what?
I'd
Chip and pin them?
They'd be chipped and tagged.
Oh, right, okay.
With ankle bracelets
Microchips.
till they're 25.
You don't need to do that anyway. You just have to check their phone. That's all. Everybody seems
Air
to be.
tags, yeah.
No, it's not even that. My friend seems to know where everybody is at any given moment because they're on Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Yeah, there's a map thing, so you can just go in. Where are you? There they are. That's why I never went on Snapchat. She's raging with me, but
So people can see.
her and her family. Now, I think you give them permission, but basically, she knows where her children are at any given moment, or her mother, or her sisters. She basically goes on and goes, where are they in the map? Okay. They look like they're at home. I would be raging. I would not allow
I
somebody to
know.
have that for me. Yeah.
I know that there's that thing on the phone. You know, you can share your location for an hour. I've done that for a few
Who are
times.
you sharing locations with?
Well, you know, if you're going to visit somebody. One of my friends, Chris,
do you mean?
he
You're
lives
going
in
to visit
Wicklow.
someone? What's
so
that
I'd be like,
about?
I'm leaving now, and I'd share my location.
Oh, okay, so they can track your progress?
Yeah, or like he is a big driveway. So I'm like, I'm
You
at
might
the
get
gate.
lost on it.
Yeah, well, no, it's just like you can take the dog in, like, and open the gate.
Okay. Well, yeah, don't worry. You need to,
But like,
I don't live in that kind of life.
It's a
but
very like, yeah. I think that just giving that information to somebody is.
Oh, no. I don't want it.
I don't even like. Yeah,
I don't want it. I know people can find you if they really need to, and maybe there's a good thing in that as you get older. You might
no.
need found.
I always like the idea of being completely like missing.
Oh, people can't find you? Oh, that's
Yeah.
why I go to Donegal. You know that, right?
But everyone's like, "Where's she's going to go?"
I go up there
Like you-
and I tell everybody I have no Wi-Fi up there.
Niamh
Whether I have or
texts-
not, I don't care.
Niamh texts back within 5 seconds. Like you send a message and it's like Niamh Kavanagh is typing.
Yeah.
And unless if,
That's not true of
and
everybody,
If that's
though, I'll
not
be
the
honest with
case,
you. Gross.
and if that's not the case, it's like Niamh Kavanagh is A, dead, B, in Donegal.
Yeah. But also, to be fair, I'm not as imminent on that to everybody, right?
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
You know,
well,
just because I answer
business
you
partners.
fast. There,
Business partners.
there are certain people I'm obviously more rapid with, shall we say.
Yeah. Well, we work together now. We have a
We
thriving,
have more than work.
thriving podcast.
We actually combine the perfect.
we combine work and play. We're a perfect example of.
We're like a Mars bar. Work, rest, and play.
Do you know what I had a Mars bar recently? It was gross.
Oh, and I haven't had a Mars bar in years.
It was really. I was like, what has happened to these? It tasted like I wanted to peel my gums off.
No, well, maybe just forget how sweet they were.
Oh,
I find it very hard to get past the creamy Snickers. You know, the peanut butter ones. Oh, they're
delicious.
amazing. So,
Um,
anyway, I don't know how we're here.
How are
Let's
we
move
here?
on from the dementia.
I do think that's a great idea.
What do you get on your feed?
What do I get on my feed? I reset it recently.
Oh, how did you
I
manage that?
reset it on Instagram because I was like, I'm sick of looking at hot lads and kittens.
Wow.
Because do you know the way it works?
Very different
I'll tell you the
lives.
way your feeds work is, you know when you scroll,
Yeah, but if you
the
pause,
thing that if you pause at all, then
No,
it's
I
in your
know.
algorithm.
I'm well
so
aware.
I've obviously paused on the hot lads.
shocker.
But ever since I reset it, I've no hot lads on my Instagram.
Now, how do you reset it?
You just go in, you reset your preferences, you reset your Explorer screen.
Yeah.
And now I miss them, to be honest. I miss them. I'm sick of looking at Munters. So now it's Munters and kittens.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at kittens.
Of course, you're looking at kittens.
No. Niamh, I need...
No,
I
don't even
need-
go down that road. You're going away.
I know I am going away.
Don't
but I
even look
need
at-
to... I'm in crazy town. at the
You are in
moment
crazy
with
town.
regard to kittens.
You need to be very careful because this is the moment when you end up with 20 cats
I
because
know.
you can't
I'm
pass
looking
them.
At, I've already looking at 3
No, don't do it.
kittens.
You're about to go away. Don't do it.
It's like, here's my thoughts.
Okay.
Here's my thoughts. If you get one kitten, it can die and ruin your life, as has just happened.
Oh my God.
If you get 2 kittens, kitten can die and ruin the other kitten's life.
Jesus.
How would you deal with a grieving cat? Anyway, so what I've decided is...
You're going to get 3 kittens.
If I get 3, because then
You won't
one
miss
can
one of them.
die, and then the kittens can be like, oh, isn't that really sad that our mate died, but at least we have each other. Now, I think that's lovely. It's lovely for me and it's lovely for the cats, but it's really unfortunate for my boyfriend who's going to be cleaning up shit 24/7.
Not to mention, you're going to be away in bloody London, living your life.
No,
touring.
I'll do it when I come back.
Yeah.
But that's where I am. I'm thinking Christmas.
I'm thinking you need to get over that while you're
I'm
away.
I'm thinking three kittens, Christmas, me. Like my boyfriend will probably go home for Christmas. So it'll be me, 3 kittens. They'll all have little matching outfits. I'll be feeding them a steak. It's Christmas Day. Christmas Day with Daddy.
God.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to come and save you, aren't I? I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I,
know.
will.
I need to move on. I need to move on from this. Like,
Can we
because
move
I
on?
realise I'm going to like.
We definitely need to move on. We need to move on. I think we need to put you in Dementia Village because I bet you there's loads of cats there.
See, that'd be absolutely.
And then
lovely.
you wouldn't know which cat was yours anyway because you'd have
love it.
dementia.
There'd be loads of cats. You
You'd
could
be
piss yourself
lovely.
in the street.
I love
It's
that
a
idea.
lovely time.
I would live in a dementia village even now, to be fair. Free groceries. Thanks very much.
Do you know what I would love?
Well,
And I know this may sound insensitive, but I would love.
I don't know why you would break a habit of a lifetime, Gearoid.
I would love all of the responsibilities of my life to be somebody else's problem.
Oh my God. Do you know, I sometimes do that in my friendships
just
because
love
I
that.
make so many decisions as far as work is concerned that I love when I kind of, if somebody says, where do we walk? I go, I don't want to make those decisions. I don't want to decide some days even, what I'm going to wear.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
You would love it for 5 minutes.
No, I
Road.
hate making decisions. I can't make a decision now to save my life. I don't trust myself.
Right, well then just text me. I'll text you back. I'll text you back in 6
Because
seconds.
You just made me do what you want.
Yes. Isn't that what you want? Isn't that what you want?
I'm not going to tour. We're just doing 3 agony aunts a week and a live show. We're doing a live show.
Oh my
Niamh.
God, I'm so excited
We're
about the
doing-
live show.
Now, what I will
Like
expect.
200 episodes
This
nearly.
is what I will expect from the listener.
Okay.
Is that we will talk about the live show for ages.
Right.
But then when we announce, we'll do like we have a surprise coming. And I would like everybody to be surprised.
Act like we meant it.
Yeah.
And sell out in about 3 seconds.
What is, the mortification if it doesn't sell out?
I don't care. I get to
I care, Niamh.
I get to spend time with you.
I care.
Imagine
We're gonna-
the public
we're-
could
great
go and
time.
sit
Yeah.
in the same space as us.
Yeah, and we're going to have it's got full on production, like Niamh. It's going to be.
No, don't. They just want the
we're
show.
We're going to have a great time.
They want to come and bring their problems to us. I want to see.
Do you know what will happen though?
I'll give them hugs.
They won't have problems.
They will have problems.
I guarantee it. We'll be sitting there. I've got a problem. I've got a problem.
No, we bring a couple of problems and people will have opinions about them.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? They'd love it. I think we'll be fine.
We are pausing for a moment to remind you that Agony Rants is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Again?
If you would like to support the show, you can do so for as little as €5 per month plus VAT. And in return for that, you'll get bonus content from us and all of the other shows on the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
And how lucky would they be? Like,
exactly.
Beyond lucky.
I mean, none of the bonus content is as good as our bonus show, Niamh.
Naturally.
Which is called
Vintage Rants. We do a whole other show.
A whole other show. It's a whole new world that you have to discover behind the paywall.
I mean, we do the same thing on it. But
And also on the Head Stuff Podcast Network, there is this show. The show we are cross-promoting.
That we never know.
Never know what it is.
I mean, we have nothing but respect for all of them. So
Most of them.
Okay.
I'm sure this is one we like. We have a problem.
Okay.
We have one. This is a problem about allergies.
Oh, go
now,
on.
I have to say, I read the top line of this and I was just like...
Allergic.
Good
Were you
God,
allergic
I
to
was
the
allergic.
allergies?
I was absolutely allergic. But this is actually a really good problem and I really feel for Julia who wrote this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so hi Agony Rants. I'm a single mother, writing in because I'm in a bit of a confusing and honestly upsetting situation. And I'm not sure if I'm overreacting or not reacting enough.
Oh, okay.
I have a young son who has severe food allergies, especially to eggs. Now, here's the interesting thing, right?
Right.
So, one of my friends is allergic to eggs.
Okay.
And it's proper...
Oh, no. It's, EpiPen stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
EpiPen will die. And then one of my best mates, he is allergic to fish.
Oh, so it must be interesting. Do you have them over at the same time?
No, I don't have them over at the same time. But like he has had loads of reactions. Like, so
Is
it's
it
one
shellfish
of those,
or fish in general?
No, anything fishy. So like, for example, he's had loads of reactions where like there would be fish sauce in something or there would be...
Are you allergic to anything?
Do you know, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was allergic to penicillin.
Oh.
Because I had a massive reaction to penicillin years ago.
Right.
And recently I had a really bad infection. And the doctor was like, oh, you're allergic to penicillin. Oh, that's a shame. And he said, tell me about your penicillin allergy. And I was like, oh, well, this happened and this happened. And he was like, that might not be a penicillin allergy.
Oh my gosh.
So I think he gave me penicillin.
Just to test the theory.
Yeah, and I didn't have a reaction. But I was just like...
I'll be honest with you. Maybe you outgrew it. You know, sometimes
maybe
you grow
I did
out of
outgrow,
things. But here's the thing.
I also feel...
I'm not 100% sure I would play Russian roulette with that.
Yeah, I feel like...
Did you take your first penicillin while he was watching you?
No. I came home and I took it and then I was like, I think I've just taken penicillin. I was like, I feel like this is a roll of the dice.
I know. And you think you don't.
And he was right.
And you know what's really
He's
weird?
clearly
You
right.
think you don't live like an interesting life.
I know, yeah.
I know. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
It's not about our problems.
Not about our problem.
Okay.
I have a young son who has severe food allergies, especially to eggs. It's not a mild intolerance, it's serious, life-threatening, and something I've had to manage carefully since he was a baby, just like my friend Pat.
Yes.
Our lives are built around keeping him safe, reading every label, asking every question. Now, that would be boring.
No, but it's essential. Right, okay.
Yeah. And constantly being on alert when it comes to food. I would have sold him on the internet. A few months ago, I started seeing somebody new. Well. He's kind, funny, and really into wellness.
Okay.
Oh, listen, ejector seat. Sorry. Like,
Now, I thought you would
time.
enjoy that because you can
No.
file that under his problem.
No, straight man
Okay.
doing yoga.
Go
Jog
on then. Come on.
Nobody wants to hear about your Pilates. Like protein powders, paleo, intermittent fasting, gym before dawn kind of guy.
Oh, God.
At first, I found that energy kind of refreshing. I've been on my own for a while.
Clearly.
And it felt good to be with someone who's so focused on health, even if we approach that word in very different ways.
Okay.
He sounds like a dose.
Yeah, he might be beautiful. Don't
Of course he's beautiful, but here's
The
what I've
problem is-
learned.
Yeah, what?
There's always a cost.
Okay, go on.
The beautiful ones are either thick or tedious. There's no in between. But recently, he made a mistake that shook me. He served my son food that contained eggs. Of course he did. He probably
my
can't
God.
read.
Oh, stop it.
Luckily, I caught it before my son took a bite. It could have ended very differently. When I brought it up, he seemed genuinely sorry, but then
imagine.
followed it up by saying that I might be overcautious and suggests that I consider reintroducing eggs into my son's diet in small amounts to build up a tolerance.
Oh, please.
He is not a doctor. Of course he's not a doctor. Just to do a handstand doesn't mean you're... Anyway, he is not my son's allergist, and I didn't ask for that advice.
Yeah.
I want to believe it came from a good place. Well, look, thick people are always well-meaning.
Stop it. Stop it. We don't know he's sick. Stop it.
Of course he's thick.
Keep moving on.
But I can't ignore the fact that he made a dangerous mistake and now seems to be more focused on his wellness worldview than my child's safety. Now, this is exhausting.
Come on, keep going.
I've worked so hard to build a life where my son feels safe and seen, and I can't afford to gamble with that. My question is, am I being too harsh or protective here? Is this a teachable moment in a new relationship or a sign that we are not compatible on something fundamental? Thanks for being the kind of space where I can get this out without being made to feel irrational. I really need some clarity. Warmly, Julia. You absolutely need some clarity. If you think...
Julia, if that
this
person...
guy risking your son's life...
No. Right, here's the fundamental thing here.
God.
I would say probably this happened, probably genuinely made a mistake, fine. When he follows it up with being overly cautious and all that, then he is trying to justify the mistake he's made. Right, he's basically feeling guilty,
Yes.
feeling ashamed, probably mortified, and so now he's looking for a rational reason why he did it, right? And to make it sound like not so bad, right? But here's the thing: if he cannot accept that this is not a fixable thing, then there's no conversation. I don't know how old your baby is. Well, I don't know. It doesn't say, but he's young, right? He's a young son, so you have a long time to deal with this. If this person isn't on the same page with you, you have no relationship with this person.
Totally.
There's no, because you would never be safe. You would never be safe leaving him, and that's the end of that conversation. There's no even conversation about it. And if he doesn't get on board and understand how serious this is, fair enough. Now, I do understand that when you become, because you have to be overly cautious all the time, it sometimes can make you a little bit too overcautious about your son. But when it comes to food, you cannot be overcautious.
Yeah.
For something like this, as serious as this is, there's no building up a tolerance. This is not it's not a thing. But I appreciate that people who don't live with it don't understand that.
Let's give Meathead the benefit of the doubt.
Oh my God, don't call him that.
Right?
Right.
So, let's pretend for like 1 second he's not dumb as a box of hair.
Oh, Jesus.
So, maybe because he's so interested in wellness.
Yeah, maybe he's looking at different options. Yeah.
Shit.
Stop it. Stop it now.
Maybe he has read something about allergies that maybe it's worth having a conversation with your doctor about.
Yeah, what they're
Right?
talking about, what he's talking about is more of an intolerance rather than an actual allergy.
Yeah.
They're very different things.
Yeah.
Like I am gluten intolerant. So in other words, if I eat a lot of gluten, I sneeze a lot, right? That's the truth over a period of time. It doesn't mean that if you feed me
Yeah.
gluten that I'm going to be sick, right? Not in that
Yeah.
way. Stop it now.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I remember the time when you were like gluten intolerant, like Niamh would be talking about her gluten intolerance while she's eating a scone.
No, I didn't say I didn't eat it. But what I'm saying is intolerance is different
I just feel
to
so much better since I've given it up.
allergy. That's so very. I was off it for a whole year one time, and I did feel better. That's not the point. What I'm saying is I wouldn't have died eating the gluten, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, if somebody has a proper allergy, then they can die or become very sick. That's a very different conversation.
Very different.
So you're in your rights to go and say to him, look, if you're going to have a balanced conversation, you start with, this is not an intolerance, this is an allergy. And if you don't understand the difference in that, then you need to go and research it. And no world ever happens where your children's welfare is not placed above any relationship, right? No world, not for me. You know, as much as I love my husband and we huddle together for safety, if there had been any issue in regards to the safety and welfare of our children growing up, now they're men now, I don't care now, but no, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But what I'm saying is, you know, there's nothing that's ever going to come in between that. The truth is, if this is a reasonably, you might be having a lovely relationship, keep the relationship separate, go to his, don't involve him in your son's life if you can't feel that he can be trusted in that situation. That is not a relationship.
That's fair. I also think that what you need to take into account here is, right, I don't know why I'm drawing the parallel here, but is the male ego.
That's what I spoke about it before.
The parallel I want to draw here is, now I know this might sound like a wild take, right?
Come on then.
Is Graham Linehan. Do you know Graham Linehan?
Yes, I know who.
He wrote the IT Crowd.
Yes, I know who he is, yeah.
Load of shit.
Father Time.
So,
all that.
yeah.
Come on, keep moving, keep moving.
Graham Linehan, right, years ago, somebody had a go at him about an episode of the IT Crowd and said it was anti-trans.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Which it was.
Sure.
It was just a joke. It was it was a take. And rather than saying, it was 10 years old, it's this,
it's always time.
Time has moved on, blah, 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 blah. He just seems to have rolled into this crazy person, right? He's rolled into somebody that is just...
Well, circumstances have brought him there, yeah.
Bananas.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is a wild take, right? I know this is very divorced. But if you let something go on, like if you just are constantly deflecting in shame about this thing that you've done, that's how you get the situation.
He's not accepting any responsibility here, although he said he was genuinely sorry, which means he recognises
But
it.
what he's trying to do is he's trying to reverse
Justify.
engineer the whole situation.
He's just
as
trying to
that
justify
he was
the mistake
in the
he
right.
made. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and that is how things snowball, as we've seen.
But here's the big question. Do you want to save this relationship? I mean, it's a fundamental question. Is this relationship important to you? Do you think you can get past it? If it's just for the sex and having the crack, then go visit him where you're not putting your son at risk. You know, you can still have all that. Doesn't mean you don't have to be deep and meaningful, right? You know, but what I'm saying is, from this point of view, this is fundamental. This is a fundamental thing about your son that has to be looked after. And if somebody who's into wellness should recognise that more than anybody else in the world. I'm sure if you took his protein powders off him and replaced them with, sugar, he'd be upset. It wouldn't kill him, but what I'm talking about. It's like it really is a fundamental thing.
I think that what she's got to do is she's got to decide whether or not she trusts him. So, she explained what happened, and then she needs to let it go. She can't be like, every time he puts a plate of food down in front of the kids, she can't go, "They're eggs in that." Remember what happened the last time?
Yeah, I know. It's difficult. It's difficult.
You've got to walk that line, and you've got to decide whether you want to walk that line.
No, but it comes down to it, right? It is, the basic question is, how important is this relationship to you?
Yeah.
Right? And that's how much importance you should put onto it.
Yeah.
That's the truth. You're not being irrational. This is something that could kill your child or make him very sick. There's no fucking rational in that. You're being practical in the sense that you don't want your child to be sick. It's up to him to accept your life and be a part of your life the way you want him to be.
We have another problem, and hopefully it's a couple of uglies.
Dear Niamh and Gearoid, I'm in a wonderful relationship with a woman I love deeply. We've been together a few years and things are solid. We live together, we've built a life that works, and we truly enjoy each other's company. I'm incredibly lucky in many ways. Holy God, this always ends well, doesn't it, when we start with that?
Yeah.
I mean, you
the
wonder
only
why.
way is down.
So here's the thing. I think she's about to propose. Okay.
Grand.
Okay, is that not good? There have been a few signs. Her best friend being oddly giddy around me, a sudden uptick in romantic weekends away, and the other night I caught her browsing rings on her laptop when she thought I was asleep. The thing is, I don't want to get married, and I've never really wanted to. It's not about commitment. I'm fully committed. I just don't feel the need to formalise it with a wedding or legal contract. It's not a fear thing, and it's not that I have doubts about her. I just don't feel marriage is for me. But I also know it is something she values. Okay, fundamentally this is a problem. She mentioned it in the past in a one-day kind of way, and I always kind of smiled and nodded, thinking it was a future version of us that we'd figure out later. Well, it seems later might be now, and I'm panicking. I don't want to hurt her. I don't want her to feel rejected or unloved, but I also don't want to go along with something that feels wrong for me just to avoid disappointing her. How do I start this conversation without crushing what we have? Can a relationship survive this kind of fundamental difference? Okay, the short answer to this question is this is a conversation possibly that you should have had earlier, but maybe it didn't feel like the right time. Can a relationship survive this kind of fundamental difference? Often not. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. It doesn't mean yours won't survive it, but you maybe need to look at how important it is for either of you. And this is a very...
Sorry, I was
Where were
reading
you?
back.
You weren't paying attention.
Niamh's breaking them up. What's going on?
No, I'm not breaking you up. I'm saying that actually, fundamentally, if marriage is super important to your partner and marriage is super not important to you, that's a very fundamental thing that needs to be addressed, and soon, in a very serious way.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That is a magnificent... I know it sounds weird, sounds like the death of 1,000 cuts and all, but the reality is, if you need to be married and your partner doesn't, that can be difficult. because there is, how do you solve both of you? You don't.
Well, she needs to work out why she doesn't want to be married.
Some people don't feel the need to have a piece of paper, and they can't quite explain it. Just like some people don't want to have kids or don't want to, and they don't need to justify it. However, the problem is if you're in a relationship with someone who fundamentally thinks it's important for them, then...
Well,
yeah.
If you're in a situation, right, it depends on why you want the marriage. If you want it as just another natural step, that's one reason. If you want it because if the other person is killed in a car accident, you're not going to be able to afford to keep your house.
Legally, yeah.
Then
you're often in a better place legally.
Like...
Maybe a civil partnership.
I definitely think that you need to work out why they want it, why you don't want it. That's definitely a conversation. But here's the big problem here. She's potentially about to be proposed to, and they haven't had any conversation about whether or not they want to get married.
Well, I don't know. Have you been clear enough that you don't believe in marriage?
Clearly not.
Because I tell you, if somebody's looking up on rings, or else the other person is too delusional and just going, she doesn't really mean that.
You can do all of the marriage things without like, if you're buying a house together, you can sign a form to say you're married.
You don't have to have a wedding. You can just be married, right? So if you come down to the core of it, is it because you don't want the big hoopla and all that sort of stuff? Is it because, you want... You see... Paul and I were together maybe 4 or 5 years before we got married. We knew we were going to get married. It was important to us to get married, weirdly. We weren't in a big rush, obviously. We had our kids first. I don't know, that was the thing. But what I'm saying is that it's really important to understand how you will feel differently when you're married. And it is different. I mean, for Paul and I, it was definitely different. We became calmer. I think, especially for Paul, he was much calmer. Maybe he thought I was going to run away. How I was going to run away with 2 kids and a dog, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, he felt much happier about it. I wanted to be married. It wasn't a case of not wanting to be. There was a difference when we got married, despite the fact that we were living a married life up to then.
Yeah.
But I also know people who were together. I don't know. We were just calmer. It just felt more... I don't know. I don't know what the difference is, but we felt happy. I felt it. And I know he did too. We just felt more together. And I don't think the piece of paper necessarily does that. I think it just depends on how important it is for you to be
your
married.
Mindset, okay.
I think it depends on who you are as a person. So fundamentally, if you need that, whether you know why you need it or not, commitment is the issue. You're right. If you are committed, it doesn't matter whether you have a piece of paper or not. Because it doesn't matter what piece of paper you have. If you're not committed, if you're going to go and be eejity, you're going to be that person. You're never going to change that, right? We've had this conversation more than once. But I'm going to tell you, fundamentally, some people need it to feel better, to feel more a part of a situation. And if that's the case, are you going to be able to say, like, is it an all or nothing thing for you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because actually one of you is going to have to give way here. Do you know what I mean? One of you is going to...
If you don't want to get married and she wants to get married, well, what you can say is, I'll get married, but I don't want to do a wedding. I don't want to do an engagement.
Yeah, that's a different... That's what I'm saying. It's not about the wedding. We're talking about whether you want to be married.
You need to break up all of the bits.
You have to figure out
bits are
what it
you,
is you don't want.
For you.
Because at the end of the day, if it's important for her to be married and she says, okay, I won't get married, you'll take something fundamentally away from her, and maybe she's then starting to doubt whether you want to be with her long term.
And also the other thing, especially in a gay relationship, and this is one of the reasons why you need to have these conversations before there's any proposal, is you've got to work out who proposes.
Yeah. No, I seriously...
Some people can find that very empowering or disempowering or whatever.
No, seriously, I think for you need to have this conversation as soon as, and you need to do it before there's any major thing. You just need to talk about how you feel about marriage.
And also, here's the thing, Claire, if you don't have this conversation, you are hurtling headlong into a proposal where you could potentially say no.
Do not delay.
And
do not delay. And you'll not come back from that.
No.
No matter how the reason you give her, and even if she accepts it at the time, the reality is it will wound her. You need to be very clear about how you feel. But first of all, be clear how you feel, why you feel the way you do yourself, and vice versa. And I'm not saying you're wrong to feel it. Lots of people don't want to get married and are happy. And that's fine if you're with someone who understands that that's how you are. But clearly that's not the case here. So you need to be... I mean, if you're in this relationship, you need to be honest. And I would imagine you're able to be honest.
What sort of a lunatic, though? Like, what sort of, like, this is the bit I don't like, right? What sort of a lunatic is in a relationship with somebody and knows they're not
Into
marriage and is going, well, I know what will get her into marriage.
Yeah, but there's lots of people like that. Lots of people say, oh, they don't want kids until I tell them I'm pregnant. Sure, I'll get pregnant and that'll solve that problem. And it doesn't. Because it's fundamentally, you have to understand why somebody is that way. So I don't think you're wrong for not wanting marriage. I think plenty of people are committed in relationships and don't need a piece of paper to show it. And that's fine if you're with someone who feels the same way or understands it. But if you're with someone who essentially needs that piece of paper or wants the institution or whatever it is, then you're in that space. And I honestly believe that. I just think that is a fundamental part of your life. You can get over millions of things, but if she only wants the wedding, that's a different conversation. If she's looking for a proper marriage and she wants to feel that that's formalised, then you have to ask yourself whether you're prepared to do that because you love her so much.
And a lot of people, what they do is, I know a few people that have done it, they've got married in secret.
Yeah, you don't have to have the big day.
Like, you don't have to tell people you're married.
No.
You can just get it done and, and drip feed that information.
Yeah, I don't know how. See, I don't think everybody has to do everything you want in life. In other words, you can go and get married, just the two of you. It was important for me to have my family there, right?
And then you can get used to being married and then...
And maybe if you want to
announce an engagement and have a fake wedding, sham wedding.
Sham, there's more of them. Like, I mean, lots of people get married before they get married.
Yeah.
As in they have the wedding and you realise they've been married for a year and a half.
I'd much rather be at the first one.
Yeah, me too. But that's a whole other thing. Here's the thing. You need to fundamentally understand where you stand on this and why. Because when you go to have that conversation with her, you need to have rational, proper arguments for it, right? You need to be able to tell her in a way that makes sense to her and makes her feel loved. You need to have it soon, and you also need to appreciate that she's going to come at you and probably be hurt by it. And rightly so, because that's her belief, and but if she just wants a wedding, that's a different conversation. You could say, look, we can celebrate our union by doing this, But I have to tell you, it makes a difference for your kids or for you legally. It does make a difference.
Yeah, at some point.
It shouldn't, but it does.
Yeah.
But there are civil partnerships. You could have a civil partnership. That's the same thing.
Yeah. Let's know how you get on, Claire.
Yeah, I'm really interested in this.
Yeah, I'm curious to know.
You have to have
you have to have a conversation.
You have to have it.
Now.
Yeah. I don't delay it any longer, because if she's looking at rings, it's coming. And and the problem is, when you build up a big romantic moment like that and it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go, it's devastating. And I don't think you should be just saying yes because you want to make her happy.
No, totally not.
I think because eventually one of you will resent it. You have to have an honest conversation about why.
Yeah, it's just communication. That's
and if you do decide to get married, Gearoid is great at singing in your eyes.
I'll do in your eyes, no problem. 10 grand.
I think I'm interested to what other people feel about that.
Yeah, I think so. I think that if you are somebody, if you haven't had the conversation, you cannot expect somebody to know how you feel about something.
Yeah, I know.
Like, unless you've made it really, really clear.
Yeah.
Particularly something that is...
Like, have you been at weddings and gone, I would rather have my toenails pulled out than have this happen to me? Have you been very clear in that way? Probably not. Because...
And also, it's so expensive. Like, even the smallest wedding is so expensive. No, it's the way to... if you want...
But you keep talking about weddings. That's not the same as marriage.
I know, yeah, but like...
marriage
is one thing leads to another. And I guarantee you, anyone that's getting married that has... It snowballs. That's the problem.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to. But what I'm saying to you is, it depends on whether you're against marriage or wedding. And if it's just a big hoopla, then that's an easy conversation.
Yeah.
If it's about physically being legally tied to someone else, then you have to ask yourself, how committed are you? I'm sorry.
Like, even if you take a wedding cake, right? If you go in and you buy 3 ice cakes, it's probably 60 quid. But if you want them piled on top of each other
in the
as
wedding
a wedding,
here.
it's like 200 quid.
Let it go, Gearoid. Let it go. Anyway, you'll bake your own.
Yeah, I will bake my own.
Clearly.
And also, can I just say,
what?
This whole thing of having what are they called? Chocolate biscuit cake.
Oh, what is that about?
As a wedding cake, it's
not cake.
Don't understand it.
I'm sorry, it's not cake.
Not cake.
No.
It is not cake. I'm so glad we're on the same page.
No, no.
Chocolate biscuit cake, I don't
But
I will never understand it.
it's not a cake. It's just chocolate with biscuit in it.
Yeah, and also it's not. It's biscuit with little bits of chocolate in it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, packed really tight.
no good.
No,
Break your teeth. Certainly, it's horrible. It's not horrible, but it's,
I don't like it at all.
okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Do you know what I love? A lemon drizzle as a wedding cake.
Okay.
It's a surprise.
Do you want me to write it down?
Yeah, it's the little bit of bitterness at a wedding.
It feels about right for you. Feels about right for you.
Always where I
a little
find
bit
joy.
of bitter in there.
It's been lovely to chat to you.
It has been, and you know what? I really want to know how both of those things turn out. Actually,
Yeah, I'm very curious because I have concerns. We've done our best.
I'll be honest with you.
Done our best.
We may have broken up 2 couples today, and that's not our aim. But we're a little bit blunt
No,
today. I feel we're not. I feel we're not being soft at all.
No, but some people need home truths.
Yeah, they do.
I definitely think though, if you're going out with somebody that has a regular gym routine,
Stop it.
you take what you
Stop
take what
it.
you
Just
get.
you know what's wrong with him? He has guilt over the fact that he's not working out.
I'm not working out.
You're
at
not
all.
working out, but you look fab.
I'm so tired.
Well, listen, it's been lovely to talk to you, and I'm sure we have solved absolutely nothing today.
Yeah, agneyrants@gmail.com if you want to get in touch.
If you have opinions about anything we talk about, we would love to hear them.
Agony Rants will have a bonus episode out last Thursday or next Thursday, and we will be back on the free feed next Monday.
Yes.
Please subscribe to Headstuff Plus on headstuffpodcast.com.
If I counted right, the next one will be our 200th show.
Really? Mm-hmm. Niamh.
200 shows.
We're not going to celebrate our 200 show. We're going to celebrate our 202 show because we won't be together for the. We won't be together for the our 200 show.
Wow, that's so weird.
We've only done a handful of those, haven't we?
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah.
One time when I was really, really super sick.
Oh, you'd COVID.
And I was all wrapped up. I mean, you skipped a show because you had COVID, but I actually still did the show. Just not in the same room as you.
Oh, that's right. I was very sick now.
I mean, if you ever... If you ever needed proof about women are stronger than men,
sick,
right
Niamh.
there.
Yeah,
Right there.
Very sick. We will chat to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Head Stuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.